Now, South Africa's infrastructure issues won't deter the development and export of hydrogen energy in South Africa. That's the word from the delegates from the Netherlands. It's day 2 of the Green Hydrogen Summit that's looking at how Africa can reduce its carbon footprint and how to reaffirm South Africa as a world leader in the green energy space. While the railway network and port infrastructure remain a challenge, the different stakeholders are confident that sustainable solutions can be found. Now, eNCA's Heidi Giokos is following that story and joins us live now. Heidi, thank you so much for joining us. What can you share from day 2 of the summit?
Yes, so day 2 is obviously a lot quieter considering the pandemonium from yesterday's Green Hydrogen Summit, but still very important conversations being had around how this is all going to materialize. So as much as we have a Green Hydrogen Summit, what does this actually mean for the South African economy, for the South African energy landscape and energy crisis? Many South Africans are asking, but how is this going to benefit us? How will this solve our energy crisis, if at all? And you have a number of countries that are actually in partnership with South Africa, really trying to capitalize on our resources, and 9 key projects that have been highlighted by the South African government, with 3 provinces basically heading these green hydrogen projects, which is the Northern Cape, the Eastern Cape and here in the Western Cape. We got a chance to speak to the Netherlands, who are a keen partner with South Africa, trying to figure out how they can assist South Africa. This is going to be a multi-billion rand projects in terms of funding and getting what is needed and necessary for these green hydrogen projects. It's not all lost for the Netherlands, though, or any other country. I do know Belgium is also in partnership and a number of other European countries with South Africa, because they will obviously have this green hydrogen exported and they will capitalize on our resources. But key to all of this is, why would they want to invest in South Africa? Why would they want to loan South Africa money? Why would they want to pump so much money into these green hydrogen projects, given the many challenges we face? And central to these challenges would be our infrastructure. We do know that our rail network is basically on its knees. There are huge challenges when it comes to our rail network. But the Netherlands feel as though this will be sorted out, and they can possibly help South Africa to sort all of this out and make sure that these green hydrogen projects kickstart, whether it's now or in 5 years or in a decade, to make sure that we all benefit and have a greener planet and really try and eliminate our carbon footprint. Let's listen to what one Netherlands delegate had to say about this.
So I always think that we can overcome hurdles, and I think that the railway system is necessary maybe at the start, when we only have small quantities of hydrogen that can be transported by train. But in the end, you would need a pipeline infrastructure, and I think you also have to make sure that you produce your green electricity and your green hydrogen as close to the harbors as possible. So at more remote locations, you can just use the green electricity for your electricity demand, and the surpluses can be used to produce hydrogen. So it's also a matter of choosing the right locations where to do it. And I think we're lucky that pipeline infrastructure is very, very reliable. So I think that we have to look at that. And the Netherlands and South Africa are already talking about this with our gas infrastructure company, with our port infrastructure company. How can we do these kind of things together? So we certainly offer our help.
Heidi, just a quick one. What is still to be expected of this summit?
So, of course, a number of discussions are being had. I think today the Northern Cape was in sharp focus around how the Northern Cape is going to spearhead some of these green hydrogen projects. I do think, I'm not entirely sure, I must just double check, but I think the Minister of Electricity will be closing off and really closing off this summit. We also do know that there is a big delegation from Namibia, and President Cyril Ramaphosa was just in Namibia this week, week, trying to see how the two countries can work together. These projects are huge. They're going to cost billions. There's a lot that needs to go into all of this, and a lot of what is being discussed is also how the private sector can be brought on to assist in all of this. And I must just also speak about the fact that there are a number of communities in these three provinces that also want to be included in these projects and see how they can benefit, as a number of these communities sometimes feel neglected and sidelined in all of this. But a lot is being discussed, and something that the Minister did highlight yesterday, the Minister of Electricity did highlight yesterday, Melissa, is the fact that this is not just a summit to have discussions. There are actually action plans on the table, with discussions about how to action these plans and not just say, oh, we're having a summit, we want green hydrogen in the country, how are we going to do it? They've spoken about how they're going to do it. It's just about actioning in it now.
Thank you so much for that information, Heidi. That was Heidi Giokos, our reporter there in Cape Town.